What are we talking about today?
Not Doom, starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
You're right. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think. You're right.
I bought it on DVD, but I never watched it.
Doom.
Yeah.
Have you ever played the game?
Oh, I have not.
It's scary. Doom scared me. Yes, the video game scared me because it's like you're basically in the bowels of Hades, going down in this post-apocalyptic spaceship type thing, and you're going way down to these different levels, and it's all jump scares.
So you're moving around. There's a lot of movement, and that's probably pretty irritable.
Yeah, a lot of movement
in the bowels of Hades. Would you say it's irritable bowel
yes,
movements?
Go. 100%. Yes.
Dope.
That's exactly
Is
what
that
it
the
is.
subtitle of Doom? Irritable bowel movements in Hades.
IBS in Hades. Oh my.
When do
gosh.
we start? Okay. So we're not talking about Doom today.
No,
we're
not
talking about the
Doom.
movie / book.
Yep.
Dune.
Welcome Patreon subscribers. We love you guys.
Has there ever been a video game for Dune? D-U-N-E?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's terrible. It was like Activision did it, and it was
Activision.
awful. Yeah, it was really, really bad.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
It is in the game.
It really is. That's what you're doing is playing a game. No joke, EA.
No yoke.
Well, pick some more vowels, why don't you?
Yay.
E-I-E-I-O.
Sometimes why. Hey, we are talking about Dune. This is definitely a pop culture one because it is this movie. Can I say that this is in my top 5 favorite movies of all time?
Oh, sheesh kebab. Yes, you can.
Did you know that it was up there?
No, I know that you said, when I said I wanted to watch it, you looked me straight in my eyes.
I did.
And you said, if you see this in theaters,
yes,
call me. I don't care when or where.
I did.
I will be there.
I did.
I ended up watching it at my house. I have let you down like a dad tired of carrying his kid.
It's really, on that bigger screen, is just mind-blowing.
Sick.
It's, which is what they were going to call this movie instead of Dune.
Sick.
They were like, Sick, Part 1.
So I didn't know that it came out and said Chapter 1 or no, it said Part 1.
Part
at
1.
The beginning.
Yeah.
So will there be spoilers? Should they stop this, go see the movie?
Yes. If you have not seen the movie, you need to go see it before you listen to the rest of this. So stop what you're doing right now. Go watch it. You could watch it in theaters or you could watch it on HBO Max. I would say, but what?
If they go see it in theaters, they need to call you.
Yeah, 100%. Call me.
Call me.
Call me.
Whose car we taking?
I'll put down whatever's I'm doing, and I will drive my Plymouth.
All I'm doing is eat a stack of 3 pieces of pizza. I'm going to set it down. You're more important. I'm going to bring one with me, though, just in case. I'm going to coil it up, stick it in my pocket like a little pizza cigar.
I don't understand why you're not having your pizza on a biscuit. A giant rock hard biscuit will be so much better. Put a little Rooney in there. What is wrong with the peoples? A little goat cheese in there. Sprinkle a little fairy dust on there. You talk about IBS. That's what it's at.
You said rock hard biscuit? That was actually what we were going to name this podcast. Rock hard biscuits with Neil and Tyler. Oh, my neck hurts.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Dwayne The Rock hard biscuit Johnson. He's on the other side of the earth. Oh, hello. We have devolved into just a catchprisse of all of our quotes from different podcasts.
Yes, I now have laryngitis.
EA Sports IO. It's insane. It's in the game.
It is. You know who should have done it? I feel like we should have done it.
Joseph, just fix me. Like Coldplay.
You're our only. Oh.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the Tyler and Neil Explain Everything podcast. Now officially your 4th favorite podcast. Hit the subscribe button and make sure you go to patreon.com/explain everything to get exclusive episodes. Looks like we made it.
Comedy gold is what that was.
Wow.
That was like Velveeta cheese.
Yeah, that's the segment I'm going to talk about editing into a short for social and never do. Because that's how I work.
It happens. It happens.
It happens to me.
It happens. Okay.
Yeah.
This
Our
is
Instagram
Dune.
is not active.
No, not really.
You carried it for a minute.
I did, and it was tiring.
What if it becomes for our TikTok and our Instagram. It's just stuff we like on the internet that we just repost.
Yeah. I'm totally okay with it.
And we just say, Tyler likes this. And
Neil likes this.
Yeah, it's just captions.
Tyler likes
Tag
this.
whoever we take it from.
Can
we do that?
You heard it here first. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Done.
100%.
You think I'm joking? I tell no jokes. Knock, knock. Who's there? Not me, because I'm not joking.
Why would you joke about that?
Rock hard biscuits.
It hurts my abs. All right. This is Frank Herbert's novel.
Not to be confused with the quarterback who is a rookie card that's worth a lot of money. I love how the only thing that we did, the only episode of season 2 we have not filmed with camera is the one where I brought cards to show. Can we redo the episode?
Yeah.
Just
You
like do
brought
another
props.
one. I literally I'm holding it together. Here's a Luka Doncic.
My camera didn't work for that one, and it's 100% on me. I was trying some new experimental
Experimental gum.
Oh, man. So this movie is definitely based on a novel. I think most people know that. Frank Herbert, he wrote this novel back in 1965. So
Is he still alive?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't
He'd
think
be like
so.
90.
I don't think so. He wrote it in 65.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean,
yeah,
he'd be
he
90
would
if
be-
you wrote it at like 30-ish.
Yeah. So this first movie is part 1. It says Dune part 1. They held that back from most people from knowing that going into it. I heard a lady behind me yell out loud in the theater when it got to the end of this first movie. She goes, "What?" Because she didn't understand the whole concept. She was thinking she's going to come see a complete thing.
Yeah.
This is part 1 of that. It's the first half of Frank Herbert's book.
Yeah. This is not Minority Report.
No, no.
Starring Tom Cruise, the greatest movie ever made.
It's not. Rewind.
This is part 1, my guy.
My guy.
This is the Fellowship of the Ring. I get that it's confusing because they call the whole thing.
Yes.
But then that's also the first one. So like Twilight, yes, the first book, but it's also the series.
So people knew going into Lord of the Rings that it was multiple movies. They
Yeah.
knew the same thing with Twilight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How could you not? We all read
They
it.
did not know that with this because there are other movies. There was another movie that was done in the 90s or late 80s that was one movie and they tried to do too much. It was terrible.
So they try to combine parts?
They tried to do this entire book in one movie. It cannot.
So this
be
is only
done.
part 1 of the book.
Yes.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
I thought it was like part 1 of a series. There was one book called Dune.
There's actually three books. A
How many parts
continuation
in each
on
book?
it. No, it's not. It's not really broken down like that. He's just told the first half of the book. It's not part 1 of the book, part 2 of the book. It's a huge book.
Oh, so he didn't break the book up into parts.
No.
They're breaking the movie. They're calling them part 1,
Right,
part 2,
right,
part. How many
yes.
parts do you think they'll have?
If it were up to me, I would want them to do 50 because
Okay.
I cannot get enough of this.
Okay.
I really think they're going to do 2, but it could easily be 3, not like The Hobbit 3. It could legitimately be 3. There's enough content in there, but I don't want them to ruin it. Because if they do these and it continues, you're talking about a massive franchise. This could be one of those tentpole films. So this was originally written because it was supposed to address political climate in Iraq at the time. There was this whole 1970s fuel crisis. If you don't understand what a fuel crisis is, go back and listen to our climate change episode and we'll talk about fuel.
Just always plug in yourself, Neil.
Always.
You like a toaster. Just plug in yourself in.
I love myself. I'm a big fan of myself.
You're pretty great.
That
That just became self-confidence encouragement.
I'm great.
I'm great. Rock hard biscuits.
So there's so Arrakis is the name of this planet in here.
Wow.
See if you can see
kind
the
of spot on.
well
Iraq.
That's actually that's exactly what it's meant to be.
All right,
So
well.
it represents that. In the movie, spice, or in the book, he's talking about spice, but in real life at that time, oil was the crisis. People were fighting over oil,
Gotcha.
just like they're fighting over this. And in this book, the universe is the economy and the way that people were moving around, trying to gain control, trying to move. It was the economy, the global economy. So it seems way, maybe that's too much of a stretch, but when you really look at this movie, you're like, oh wow, there was a lot going on there.
Yeah.
This movie is not an exact representation of the book. There are a couple of like Foundations right now on Apple Plus, written by Isaac Asimov, was only featuring white dudes in the entire novel because it was written so long ago. And they've combined characters.
It was written so long ago, so you weren't allowed to include anybody but like
weren't allowed to.
women or minorities.
It was weird. It was like nobody thought. I mean, people did think about it, but it's like nobody thought, wait a minute, should we do this differently?
Because in real life, they weren't allowed to do anything, so it's not allowing in our imagination either.
So this is an adaptation from the book, and it was updated to bring in some strong female characters. So the guy's name, and this is really important because I completely butchered his name in our 2020 fall movie preview episode.
2020?
2021. Yeah, I did 2021 fall movie preview. I butchered his name. So it doesn't look like what you would think it is. It looks like Dennis or Denny. It's Denny Villeneuve is how you say his last name. Okay. I would have never got that.
No relation to Denny Moore?
Not anymore. No.
Or Denny the Mini? I am the worst. I am the worst.
So good.
I hate myself.
I love every second of it.
You're sitting here thinking like,
nope.
I did all this work. I'm saying all this, and you come in rolling, Denny Moore. Like, why am I here? Like, I am the worst.
Demi Moore, Dennis Rodman, and Dennis the Menace. No one else that I know of can string that together. And you had it on rapid speed dial.
I did kind of hop around, so I guess you could say I was Denny Hopper. I'm so sorry. Neil, I'm sorry. I'm in timeout. Can we have a timeout button?
No.
Like a 5-minute
You're in the penalty box.
Yeah. And you hit it, and while that instrumental's playing, I'm not allowed to talk.
Oh my gosh.
I think I should have it.
That is hilarious.
I'm so sorry.
So he wanted to make this film have a little bit more diversity in it. So Eric Roth, who is who wrote the movie, he asked him, he said, listen, what would be the most important thing that we should bring up front in this adaptation? And his answer was strong women characters.
Ooh,
so they changed a lot of this, and it works. It definitely works. So in the book, Dr. Kynes is a white male. And in the movie, she's a black woman.
Sick of freaking white dudes.
A bunch of white men.
Seriously. Like, and I'm in a room and there's a bunch of white dudes. I'm like, this is obnoxious.
Well, it's not like, that's not real.
No,
this isn't how the world is.
No, it should be. Gosh,
oh, I just found something out yesterday. So
white dudes are trash. Because it's true.
I just found it out yesterday.
Sorry.
There's a character in the 1980-ish version of this that Sting plays a major character, and they haven't gotten to that part in the book yet. And so his character, whoever played him, is going to be in the next one. And there's rumor that they're going to have Sting play a cameo in this.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
I love stuff like that.
I like it. Yep. So, do you want to list out these are yes. There are pop culture references.
Give me a purpose, Neil.
No, this is important. You're going to be shocked. There are so many. These are pop culture references to Dune. If you don't understand how important this book is, and then the movies to all of pop culture, we're about to school you.
Okay.
Take them.
The School of Hard Knocks?
School of Hard Knocks.
Okay. So these are different pop culture things that you've heard of. If you've never heard of Dune, these are pop culture things that
they've been influenced
by Dune. And you think, oh, Dune, desert battles, all this seriousness. Let me see. Number one, The Simpsons.
It's in it. It's in like 30 episodes.
How?
They reference it. They talk about it. They use a line from it. They use something from it.
I love that. Big Bang Theory, you could guess that because if it's like any type of intelligence, they're going to try to throw it in there. Star Trek, Next Generation. Can't talk.
Generation.
Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. How is it Dragon Ball Z?
He literally says a line from the book.
What line?
About fear is a mind killer.
Does it Vegeta say it?
I don't know who that is.
Probably Vegeta.
Okay.
Can I explain Dragon Ball Z?
Yes, you can. I don't know anything about it.
So
push pause on this. I'm in timeout now.
Hit your instrument. It's only 12 seconds because you never mess up.
Never.
But like with Dragon Ball Z, Harry Potter, like the things that I obsessively know about.
I don't know.
You're like, I
need to spend more time on this. We're going to push pause on this right now. I'm going to watch all of Dragon Ball Z.
No, please don't. There's like 8 episodes where it's somebody powering up. And it's just and then it's flashback. Oh, when I was in my training, and it's like, and I was like, get to the point, Frieza. Like, we're ready to fight. So sorry.
I don't know anything you just said.
Whatever. Okay. Well, there's Dragon Ball, which is
Yeah.
young Goku. Dragon Ball Z, which is the popular one in the middle, and there's Dragon Ball GT, and
I
now they're
did not
coming
know
out with
any of
Dragon
this.
Ball Super. All right, you don't care. Also, Dune is in Supergirl.
Yeah.
Lauren RSV, which we know is Charlotte, my mother. That's her fave.
That's the
Star Wars colon
in Star Wars. This is true.
and Neil's notes. He put Star Wars colon. Do I get to pick which one?
No.
Star Wars: A New Hope.
No.
I want it to be in Solo. Give them
Okay.
something.
Okay.
Give them something, Neil.
Sure.
What were you going to say about Star Wars?
No, I'm gonna say these are the references to what is in Star Wars that is direct ripoff.
Oh, sorry. You actually have it underneath.
Yeah.
Freeman are the Tusken Raiders.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
The
The Bene Gesserit.
Bene Gesserit, that is like those fancy
the
witch
women,
people.
The women.
Okay, they're Jedi. Dope.
Yeah, it's the exact same premise. They have like powers that are very hard to define, and they've been around for generations. They've been around for thousands and thousands of years.
Oh.
Yes.
And they're behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Arrakis, and they talk about it like the witch. They call them like this other thing, even though for them it feels real.
Yeah.
Arrakis is Tatooine.
Yep.
Spice is Spice. Well, that's pretty spot on.
Yeah, so spice is used in both movies because you hear Han Solo talk about it. He says, "I did the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. I was back there. I was smuggling spice for Jabba."
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, worms are worms coming out of the asteroids.
So the worms that are coming out of the sand, it's
Yeah.
the exact same thing in The Empire Strikes Back. How that giant worm comes up out of and swallows the Millennium Falcon. It's from this.
Okay, and like the worms in what was it? Mandalorian. Remember? Whenever
Yes.
they're doing the thing.
Yes.
And that's what it reminded me of in the movie Dune.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh, you guys got this from Star Wars.
Yep. Exactly.
Just kidding. All right, it's also in Silicon Valley, The Big Short, Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Rick and Morty.
Multiple times.
One of my favorite basketball players had Rick and Morty as his profile photo. And then he changed it because he got more popular. So he had to put a picture
All
of
right,
himself.
yeah, a real picture.
He's doing something really cool too. He's doing like photos. It's Jordan Poole. I love Jordan Poole.
Oh, yeah.
I counted out my Jordan Poole rookies last night.
You got a lot.
I got a few.
Mm-hmm.
I got some money.
Hoping he hits big.
I got 5 autograph cards of Jordan Poole rookie autograph.
Kids, that's your retirement.
I mean, it could be. It's already 3 or 4 times its value. My Jordan Poole is my greatest up. It doesn't matter. All right. So Trolls. It's in Trolls, of course. Justin Timberlake. He's a big fan.
Naturally.
South Park. SNL. Do you know what SNL is? You know? Have you ever heard of it? We have 2 podcasts on it.
We do.
We have 2
do.
You love SNL, so we have 2 podcasts. I love Harry Potter. We're not even letting him mention. You're like, don't you talk about Harry Potter? I know you like him, you little wizard. You're Harry Potter. You're a wizard. I said you're a Harry Potter. You're a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard, Harry. My kids, if you want Finn to scream, say this. Say, he's going to sacrifice himself. Finn will scream, he's going to sacrifice himself because of that TikTok. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking
He loves it. I'm still listening. This is why I can't have nice things.
Nope.
Animaniacs, underrated show, by the way.
Very good.
Punky Brewster, Ready Player One, they reference everything in that. AP Bio, which was like a TV show.
Incredibly underrated.
Is it good?
It's
Is it still going on?
Very good. Yeah. I think it might be on Peacock.
Okay. Well, cool. So no, it's not. Moonrise Kingdom, Umbrella Academy. Oh, I started watching that. Young Sheldon. That's pretty much being baked through.
Yep.
Just money grab.
Exactly
Mystery
what
Science
that is.
Theater 3000.
Yep.
Tremors. It's pretty much a ripoff. Of
That's
it, from
exactly
what
what Tremors is.
I hear. Oh, really?
It's like giant worms underneath that they
just-
hear and feel the rhythm.
It's
of
really
your-
the backstory behind the worm and like how.
It's from the worm's
So it's
perspective.
Beetlejuice? Because there's
Yes.
worms in Beetlejuice.
It's-
Is that on the list?
Yes.
It's literally on the list. Dibs.
You nailed it.
I did not. I literally didn't
Think
look
about
ahead.
that.
I didn't look ahead.
Nailed it.
You know, I didn't prepare what I'm actually reading now. SpongeBob, of course. Chuck.
Did you ever watch that show?
I did a little bit, not much, like
Okay.
one episode.
Okay.
Robot Chicken.
It's all over.
Mine in Black.
Sorry, that should be meant. Lo
Is
mein.
that- was that
it's
this-
a chicken lo mein?
That
in
was
black.
Hitler's follow-up book. There's Mein Kampf. There's Mine in Black,
Misspelling
which is actually against Hitler because he didn't like.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is the best one.
Fat Boy Slim.
So that line that's in there, like walk without the rhythm, and you won't attract the worm. If you haven't seen,
Oh my gosh, that's from Dune.
that's exactly what it's from.
Okay,
It's
I get this one.
everywhere. I have tried to
Wow.
explain that song. So we have used that song, Weapon of Choice. Christopher, you have to watch the music video of it. Christopher Walken is angelic.
He's perfect.
He's perfect in there.
It's his top 2. It's probably number 1 performance.
Yes.
So number 2 is his performance in Joe Dirt. Talking about guy all wrong. Talking like that, you gotta cut you in the face with a soldering iron.
Oh my, yeah, he's good.
That's
when he did when he does the thing on SNL, where I'm sorry, I brought it back to SNL. He did a thing where he put googly eyes on all his plants, and it makes me. That's like he on SNL is brilliant.
So good
because he's not all there.
No.
There's the right amount of there.
Yeah, it's like you're always like, is this on purpose?
Yeah.
Like,
Does he know that he's doing that?
I have people in my life that I'm like, is this on purpose? Is he missing 40% of his brain, or is he a comedic genius?
Are you? Yeah. And I think it might be the latter.
Maybe.
We
all know we're talking about the same person. I know we are.
Yes. So Denis Villeneuve, he has wanted to make this movie since he was 14 years old. He read the book and it completely changed his life. So production on this movie took 3.5 years. The movie cost $165 million. It has wildly outperformed what
Is
they
it
were
the
hoping.
best performing HBO Max co-release that they've done, or is there something that's done better?
Yes. So far in 2021, the thing that has blown everybody out of the water is James Bond, and that's an Amazon Prime.
Wait, James Bond, the new one came out on Amazon Prime?
It's going to be because MGM was bought out by Amazon. That's where they'll release it exclusively.
But they didn't, like, I'm talking about co-releases. Has anything done better than Dune released at the same time?
No.
Streaming and
No.
Okay.
No.
Because even Disney Plus doesn't count because you have to pay
Yes.
You have to pay that $30 thing.
So what Denny said is he thought that this date release of releasing it in theaters and on HBO Max at the same time was going to kill it. And because he wanted it to do well so he can do number 2, maybe 3 or 4.
You don't want no jumper thing where
No.
Hayden Christensen ruins
Nobody wants that.
the trilogy.
Let's give a list of things Hayden Christensen has.
I'm sorry, Rachel Bilson. Amy Rossum and Rachel Bilson. I liked those.
They're terrible.
Back in the day when I was age appropriate. They
natural.
were older than me.
Originally, Peter Jackson wanted to direct this. I'm glad he didn't.
Oh. Why?
I like Peter Jackson.
Why?
I don't think he could do this. Is too visually stimulating and a completely different style. Peter Jackson doesn't know limits. He does things and he goes too far with it.
Oh.
King Kong went way too far.
Okay.
He fell in love with the project. This is classic. It's what happened with The Hobbit. It could have been 1 movie, maybe 2. He made 3 and he shot it in 60 frames per second. I went and watched that in the theater. One of the Hobbit movies. In 60 frames per second, I almost couldn't make it through 10 minutes of it because it looked like I shot it on my phone. It was
in the slow-mo,
hyper realistic.
Slow-mo, yeah.
It was awful. Yeah, it was really, really bad. So the other movies that he has directed, which this is kind of scary. These are all, I would say, in my top 30, 40 movies, favorite movies.
Yeah.
He directed Arrival. Have you seen that?
Yes.
It's smart.
Wait, is that the one with Natalie Portman, Amy Adams? One of the one. Who is it? Amy Adams.
Yeah, Amy Adams. Yeah.
The one where it's like, okay. And Jeremy Renner?
Yes.
Okay, yes, I've seen it. It's good. It's really good.
It's like, where are we going? Where's this going to go? And then it's like, whoa. Okay, that was a very deep concept.
Yeah.
He did Blade Runner 2049. He's done Sicario.
I love both of those.
All of them.
Sicario's got a part in it where it like literally haunts me a little bit. Every time I think about it, it's like, okay, I got to stop thinking about this part.
Yeah.
I know
There's a couple. Yeah. So he did not do the second one. The second one, Sicario, don't even do it. So Hans Zimmer, he's one of our favorites.
Oh yeah.
On soundtrack.
He lays some bars.
He does.
Yeah, he's the guy you would know him from the Christopher Nolan Batmans.
Yes.
Which are the best Batmans.
Yes.
Thus far. I don't know. We
Yes.
got Robert Pattinson coming in hot like a fajita.
Oh. That's very good.
What if Batman was eating a fajita?
Oh yeah. I would go watch that.
Yeah, I'd buy that.
I'd buy that.
What if it was literally just called Batman, like a fajita,
like
and
a
it just
fajita.
opens and he's like, camera pans up, he's sitting, it's like Breaking Bad, you know how it like goes around the column and he's sitting there?
Yeah.
And it's just like, he's eating a fajita and he's like hour and a half passes. And then he like stops, he's got like napkins his face a little bit, takes a little drink of water, and then camera pans back and then
I would watch
credits.
that if Hans Zimmer did the soundtrack for it.
Christopher Nolan in space.
Yes. So
We do this podcast for us. We don't do this for
is
anybody.
Not for anyone else.
Wow.
Nope. Braden, thanks for being here.
Braden,
appreciate
glad you joined
it.
the Patreon. And Olivia.
Hey. Yeah.
Was it Olivia?
Yeah.
Olivia Munn?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's Olivia Munn gets referenced in a Childish Gambino. We did a
we did.
one on.
We did. Childish Gambino.
Can we do another one because I like him so much?
I would
oh
say
no, sorry.
yes.
What if we did one on
can.
Donald Glover? We did a Childish Gambino.
Yeah. Yes, we should.
Okay.
If you guys want that.
Do you want to
put it
talk
in the
about
comments.
Dune? I'm sorry.
Not, it doesn't matter. So Hans Zimmer did the soundtrack for Blade Runner 2049. This is interesting. Denny talked to him about the possibility of making the Dune movie.
Okay.
He signed on immediately ahead of time before Dune ever went into production because Hans Zimmer loved the books. And he did something that he has never done before. He said no to Christopher Nolan's Tenet so he could do this one.
Robert Pattinson.
It
all comes back to Robert.
Yeah, it really does. This is the first movie that since Prestige that Christopher Nolan did that Hans Zimmer didn't do the score for.
Whoa. Did John Williams help?
John,
How old is he?
Oh, he's almost gone. They just started releasing some of his classic work because I think they know he's close.
Oh,
He's close. So he actually did something where he directed. It was in Los Angeles, where he directed part of the orchestra doing some of his greatest hits. He couldn't do the whole thing. He's getting there. He's iconic. He's incredible.
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer actually made a second soundtrack for the movie. I stumbled on it, didn't know it was real. I was like, what is this? This doesn't sound like, I can't pick exactly in the movie where this is at. So there's a difference between soundtracks and scores. Score is all of the orchestrated music. Soundtrack is all the movie music that they put into it that are from other artists. And he did a second one. It's called The Art and Soul of Sound, The Art and Soul of Dune.
Like Heart and Soul?
Heart and Soul of Dune. Heart and Soul. And he created, there's a complimentary book that has images from the desert that goes with it. It's a full extra album.
That sounds fun.
I was like, man, you've really gone way overboard.
He's a fan.
Yeah.
How old's Hans Zimmer? Do we got him for a hot minute?
I think we do.
Cool.
He'll be here for a while. He actually invented new instruments for the soundtrack.
Like
Made new
you ever
instruments.
call a scooter, but not like a ride scooter. It's called a scooter. It's like it's a bell attached to a stick, and you blow into it. It was what? Hans, what?
Hans, too
put
far,
the
man.
cup down. Put the cup down.
Too far.
What you do is not only do you blow it on the other end, you kick it with your toe. You kick that bell and while you're blowing into it. It makes a little.
See, I remember that part of the movie.
Yeah, and I'm gonna title. This is not gonna go on the main one. I'm gonna put it on the heart and
On the
soul.
book.
You say art or heart? Art. I said what I said. It's art and soul of Dune.
How dare you? You don't call me Hans Zimmer. You call me Hans.
The K is silent. Hans Zimmer. Zimmer down now.
Oh my
I'm sorry. I hate myself.
Okay. So one of the characters in this movie one of the characters in here is Josh Brolin. He worked on, this is how long ago that Denny wanted to do this movie. They worked together on Sicario. He's in that movie.
Yep.
He signed on without reading the script for Dune. And this is what he said. He did an interview and he said he actually sat down in a room. They give you, it's like, if you want to read a manuscript or whatever, they put you in a room. It's kind of like safe. You can't go in and out. You can't take your phone in. You can't do whatever. But he was in the room with a couple other producers and Denny. He said he faked reading it. He didn't even read it. He thumbed through it and he goes,
Is it because he didn't want to know?
I'm on. No, it didn't matter what it was. He knew if he was going to do it, he wanted to.
But he didn't, like, they weren't like giving him a time limit.
Nope.
Like,
Nope.
So he could have.
He could have. Yeah, he could have actually read it.
He's trying to be
He's
like-
an actor, so he can't help himself.
I'm an actor.
I'm not a reader. I'm an actor. So,
That's funny.
do you want to go through the main characters? Because there's a lot of them in here. There's some seriously big names in here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. So Paul, which is like the most main character name ever.
Yeah.
Everybody got cool names. The dude's name's Paul.
Paul.
Timothy
Paul.
Chalamet.
Yeah. He's okay.
Yeah, he's a pretty good actor. Denny.
Denny.
Didn't do any casting. I'm reading your notes. They just handpicked him. They were like, he's perfect.
He didn't have to audition. Which
That's
is
right.
it's kind of crazy.
That's so good for him.
Handpicked him.
Yeah, and they're just like, hey, but here's the deal. Your last name, say it different.
Yeah. And why do you gotta have that little line over your E? And
So Denny, like whenever fun fact, Neil, you didn't know this. Okay. I'm gonna hit you with some information.
Hit me with it.
The first day of filming, Timothy, I call him Timmy. Timmy. He did his acting. Denny, not to be confused with Timmy. Denny cried because he was so excited that they actually, like, he knew he had chosen
he got the right guy. He's like, that's my guy.
And then, of course, Zendaya.
Yeah.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
My kids love it because they watch Casey Undercover.
My girls love her.
Casey Undercover.
That's it.
Yeah, she is that generation's like that's our person we'll support forever because of what she did.
And I would even say so is Timothy.
Really?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
What did he do for that generation? Was he on a Disney show?
He's no, he hasn't done as much, but he's done a lot.
Okay.
He's great.
All right. Then we got how do you? I could never say this. No, I could say this, Lady Jessica.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Chani.
Well, Chani,
Chani.
it's kind of a rough, and you barely hear her name.
Yeah,
in there,
she doesn't
so you
say it
don't
much.
know.
She's just like wandering on the desert with lens flares.
Yep.
Rebecca Ferguson, what is she in? I didn't recognize her.
She's in the Mission Impossibles.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. She's
You're
one of
right.
my favorite. She's a great actress.
Ladies restroom.
Okay. She is an incredible actress. So she plays Timothy Chalamet's mom in this movie. And she, in real life, she's only 12 years older than he is. And what's kind of crazy is like you see this movie and people joke around about it. Like, oh my gosh, we only saw Zendaya for a little while in the movie. And it's because it's kind of a tease. Like she's going to have much more of a story in this second one, but she was only on set to film in Jordan for 7 days. Like that's, and what's kind of funny is you realize, well, yeah, because she's not in the movie as much as what they had in the trailer. So if you based your entire assumptions off of the trailer and you go into, you're like, wait a minute, where is she? She's in there in a lot of flashbacks, a lot of dream sequences. That whole concept of like, these are like forward flashes. He's seeing into the future, but they filmed those in 7 days and they filmed it in Jordan. So, Leto Atreides number one, or the first, is Oscar Isaac, which is great. Duncan Idaho is Jason Momoa. Vladimir Harkonnen. The Harkonnens are the bad guys in this, and that's played by Stellan Skarsgård. He's this massive, huge, hulking person. Like he's morbidly obese. This isn't a spoiler, but the Bene Gesserit, actually, they did something to him. They infected his body, and that's why he is morbidly obese.
So they don't like him?
At one time, no, but because he's in charge of everything, they kind of have to. They're working a little bit together, so he can't walk around. He doesn't have the ability to do it. When you hear those little red like beads pop up on his back, those are anti-gravity kind of like pods, and he engages those to be able to move around. So
it's like Jabba the Hutt, but he has
but he can move
machines
around.
to
Yes,
move in.
yeah. So he sat in hair and makeup for 8 hours a day to do his role.
I would just say film me all at once, and then when he falls asleep, reset. Like, I want the Zendaya treatment.
Yeah. 7 days. Oh, I want that. Yeah, for sure. So it's also kind of odd, too. In the book, they're described, like the Harkonnens are described as having red hair, but for some reason, he went a different direction and just went all bald. Okay. Yeah, like little tiny updates because...
Well, if they wanted, they could have red hair. They just shave their head.
They shave their head. Yeah, so they could... Nice. That's smart.
Yeah, well, smart. I'm a contributor.
That's smart. Stilgard is Javier Bardem. Also, so this is the first time.
Wait, who was that?
He's the guy that comes in and spits on the table, and he goes out and leaves.
That is Javier Bardem.
Oh, he has a massive role in this next one.
Good.
His character barely just kind of came
him.
into this. This is the first time that he and Josh Brolin have worked on a movie together because they were in No Country for Old Men.
That's right.
They fought each other.
That was him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just I love these kind of relationships.
I love
that. That's really, really cool. So they
didn't interact long in that movie.
No. Well, they were never really together. Right.
We saw a flashback of I did not watch that for the first time until like 7 or 8 months ago.
For real?
Yeah, I didn't want to watch it because I want to watch innocent people die. And I thought in the commercial that the guy in the gas station died. So I don't want to watch it.
Oh, yeah, they don't really.
I mean, still innocent people die, but
yeah, there's a lot.
Sad.
Yeah, spoilers on that one.
Yeah.
So they did not use any green screens for this movie.
Good.
What they did when they were out in the desert and on these big sets, they used a fabric backdrop. They would build a frame and they would stretch this fabric on it. It was very similar to what would happen if you were watching a play on stage, how you create like these set pieces. But they filmed it in such a way because they didn't want the actors to ever feel like they were just sitting in front of a green screen. They're like, it's so difficult, and they didn't want to mess up the lighting. So they said I'm not gonna do that.
Good.
These things were like 30 feet high. They were massive. The set decoration, all this kind of stuff was incredible. One of my favorite things about this movie, he does this Christopher Nolan does it. A few other people do it, where they don't over-explain what is going on.
I love that.
That really bothered you. You said this the other day in one of our episodes. You said you create a character that like doesn't know anything, and then they're like
Get
okay.
explained to them.
Yeah.
So what's happened? What? Who is that? Or what is this?
Right.
And then they can Wikipedia dump them.
Yeah, and it's kind of a cheap way of bringing somebody up to speed instead of just immersing them right in the story. I'm glad they did not do that.
Well, when they don't, then I get to be that for my wife and kids. Who is that? What is this?
Oh gosh.
I'm like, I love you, but stop talking to me.
Hey, I don't think I have it in the notes here, but there's a phrase that is up on the screen at the very beginning that says dreams are messages from the deep.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means? I did not know this.
I mean, I just assumed that was a cut to like, hey, his dreams are important for like flashes into what's going to happen.
Yeah. It is. You're right. Like,
But that's what I thought. I didn't
it's
know there's anything
loose. It's way more than that. So
What?
he has dreams that are not dreams. That you almost have to think of them as visions.
Yeah.
Because he can see things that have happened and things that will happen, but only possibly.
Okay.
Which is a little confusing because in that last fight scene, like you're like, wait a minute, it looks like he's gonna die. That's just one possible thing. He chooses to do something different. So dreams are messages from the deep. The messages are actually, they're actually from the deep is referring to underneath the sand. So where because the worms are coming into play here.
Okay.
It's huge.
They're more than just a danger.
Oh, they're.
Well, I mean, I knew at the end with like, them riding and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So like, I was like, okay, cool. That's neat. But
Yep.
I would like if there was more, which is
So
great.
what they're going to do in that last scene when they're walking and they say, this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
They were walking in the book. They're actually walking over to catch their first ride on a sandworm.
Okay.
They're about to go do it. That when they show that in the background. So that whole dreams are messages from the deep. You hear this sound in the background, and it's from those throat singers that are on that one world. And I'm not going to be able to get their name right. That they're just bred for fighting, where they had all those soldiers down on one knee and just like hundreds of thousands of them. Those people were actually laying upside down, and it was like raining constantly. That rain is showing a direct contrast to the dry that they're going to. That warriors are being raised up in both of these, but they're exact opposites.
Ooh.
And
now they're about to battle.
Yeah,
That's good.
on the other world, which is it's pretty cool.
That's dope. Yeah. I don't know. It's good. And it's like with the dreams. So like whenever he saw, and there may be more to this than I saw in the movie, but like and again, obviously spoilers for all this.
Yes.
So he's dreaming and that dude's like, hey, I'm going to train you. I'm going to help you do this. I'm going to be like, essentially you like, oh, he's going to be his mentor. And then we see that guy and he's like super like against him and fights and then he kills him. And it's like, I was trying to explain it to Amanda and I was like, Amanda, I think what he's saying, like in his vision, the way the guy led him and trained him was to like actually walk hand in hand with him and teach him and have his back. But in real life, the way he did it was he fought against it. He had to kill him because they had to do battle. And that allowed him to get into the group to get trained. So he did help him get trained, but he did it it's like that whole perspective of like Judas did God's work because he had to play the role of the antagonizer because if Christ would have never been crucified, he could have never done. Yeah, he had to play his part in that. It's like almost like there's some, I don't know, it's not saying it's true, but there was like things like, Jesus and Judas met. He's like, Judas, I need you to carry the strongest. Like, I need you to be the one who literally sacrifices so that I can sacrifice for everybody. Wow. Which, I mean, I'm not saying it's true. I'm just telling you, like, that's a thing. Concept, it's like a story that came out of it.
Yeah.
But I see that.
That's exactly, that's like, so you watch it at home. I in the theater, there are parts. I was I'm sorry.
I'm joking.
I'm just like, were there parts, because I couldn't pause it. That's why I was saying that. I have to think about these things. And there is so much depth in this movie. If you're not careful, you just go right. You're like, what in the world is that? And I always tell my kids, and I'm sure you refer to it, like, you're like, just settle it. Stop asking questions. Keep watching. Yeah. I'm sure they're going to figure this out.
Wait till the Hans Zimmer kicks in and then I'll explain it.
Yeah. And it's really tricky because you don't really get all the answers in this. You have to really piece this together, which is not bad.
That's awesome.
They Patrice Bermette is the person that is now working on Dune Part 2 and is also working on Tron 3.
Is it like the writer or
no? That's his set decoration.
Oh, got it.
Shot locations, set decoration, design.
There's a Tron 2. I didn't know there was a Tron 2. I
The
watched Tron
original
1.
Tron in the 80s.
Okay.
The second one, Tron Legacy, is the
That's-
second one.
That's the one with the dude from Four Brothers?
Yes.
Okay.
And then this one is Tron 3.
Got it.
And that's interesting. So they scouted all their locations. It's really interesting how they scouted. They scouted everything through Google Earth, all the different locations. But most of this was shot in an area called Wadi Rum. It's the Wadi Rum Valley in Jordan. 2 other big movies, Lawrence of Arabia and The Martian, were both shot there.
Sweet.
So Wadi Rum had no sand dunes, but it had the rocks that they wanted. It had the sand to rock ratio. So what they did, this is so funny. You're talking about $165 million to make this. And they collected samples of sand in water bottles and from different areas where they filmed there to go on scout locations for other areas to make sure the sand matched. They literally took the sand with them and they're like, okay, yeah, this matches. Because you don't have to color correct all the sand.
Yeah.
They wanted to find something that works. And where they ended up shooting all the sand dunes was actually in the desert dunes of Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
So this was brutal to film.
Okay.
They said it would be 120 degrees during the day, easy.
Oh,
And that's awful.
And they're wearing these full suits, but then the
Yes.
suits are hydrating.
Yeah. The still suits.
Because that's real.
You know, it's crazy. So in the book, those suits are not as dark as what they look like on TV. The reason why, so they're more of a tan color, but you can't film tan up against a tan at all. So they went more towards like the dirty black, it's almost blue in its hue. Because they had to make those adaptations because it wouldn't work. One of the guys actually said while they were filming, he said, it is like, while we're out here, he goes, it's like Mother Nature is trying to engulf us.
Oh gosh.
Because it was really bad. Oh, how they filmed those the sandworms.
Yeah.
They built massive sets of like plywood in the sand, covered it up with sand, and they had platforms so there were people underneath it and equipment underneath it that would start shaking. So when you saw those people like slowly going down in the sand, that was really happening.
Oh,
They went to a line. They only went so far. So when you put your hand in it, you could see all those actors. They didn't have to fake any of that. It was real practical sets.
That's
they
awesome.
vibrated the whole ground to show those things come, which I think is
I
super
love
cool.
that.
The set pieces. I wish we could show you guys how big these set pieces are.
Okay.
They're massive. They filmed a lot of this. I'm trying to think where it was. It's somewhere in Europe. These indoor set pieces. Rebecca Ferguson got lost almost every day. She couldn't figure out where she was going. It was so big. I was like, well, okay. And this is when, so I didn't say this. I think I may have said this in one of our episodes. The Venice Film Festival this past year is where this thing premiered. It was the first time it was seen in front of audiences. It was only execs before that. And there was a 7-minute standing ovation.
That's awesome.
I've watched that footage 3 times. Because it's like you do all of that work. And you're talking like it's a film festival. These people are not fans. They are critics.
Yeah.
And they all stood up. I mean, 7 minutes. He had to shut it down. He's like, please stop. Wow. And this was such a massive gamble because if they didn't make money off of this, they wouldn't be able to do part 2, which they have already greenlit. So part 2 is happening, which
good.
was it's a gamble. This is like
A lot of money.
And people are not sure if it's going to take.
Yeah.
Is this really are people gonna go, overboard on this? And they did, obviously.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I wonder if the book sales went up after the movie.
Sydney bought it.
Really?
Yeah. She hasn't seen the movie, but she's reading the book.
Dope. I
Yeah.
might read the books.
It's intense.
How many books are there?
There's 3.
Okay.
You can get it where it's one book that has all 3. Carry that around if you want to impress everybody. Because
That's all the reason I carry books. I don't even talk about
it's
books unless I can brag about it.
It's actually a prop. It's a set piece. It's not even a real book.
So dope.
So this is Dune. You want to 3v3 this?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Welcome to the party, pal. This is 3v3.
Some of these names are awful.
So good. Okay, so the way we're gonna do 3v3 is where we battle out 3 things versus 3 things.
So it's a battle.
In this one, we are doing because there's a lot of fighting in it. You're like, oh, they're actors, they're playing a character, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we are going to do a draft where we each select. We take turns selecting the actor or actress. So
Right,
not
right.
the character or the
Yeah.
person they play, but them in real life, like this is Brad Pitt, not the guy from Achilles. You're picking the actor or actress, and then we'll have a battle and see who wins in a fight to the death.
You get to go first.
I get to go first?
Yeah,
You always
I'll
let me go
you.
first.
I'll let you. It's okay.
Well, can you guess who I'm going to pick?
Who?
Rhymes with Mason Momoa. Jason Momoa.
Absolutely.
I'll take the guy that played in Game of Thrones.
Oh my gosh.
So, died of an infection.
He dedicated one of his fight scenes because he had just so when they're filming this, they had just finished filming. No, he got done watching season 8. I don't know how many seasons are at Game of Thrones, but he dedicated one of these fights to who is the queen? Khaleesi? Is that what her name is? He literally looks right at the camera behind the scenes. He goes, "Hey, this one's dedicated to you, Khaleesi." He says something like, "You're always my queen."
Oh yeah.
And then he goes in this fight and just destroys everybody.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That was like his first big role.
He also played, well, in the background, they were playing Pump Up the Jams. Pump Up the Jams.
Is that true?
Pump Up the, no.
Oh, okay. Jog Jams. That was a banger soundtrack, a CD.
The Tootsie Roll. The Tootsie Roll.
Everybody owned Jog Jams. They owned Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba.
Absolutely.
And they owned Space Jam soundtrack. Those are 3 CDs everybody owned.
I owned all 3 of those.
I know you did. It's the rule.
Absolutely. It's the rule.
It's the rule.
Yeah.
All right, who's your first choice?
I'm not going to pick Lady Jessica, not Rebecca Ferguson, because she kept getting lost.
That's good.
I just feel like she's
she'll
not going to
survive
show
because
up
everybody
to
else
the
is dead.
fight.
What's happening? Everybody's dead.
I'm going to go with, oh gosh, I should have thought. I'm going to go Josh Brolin.
That was going to be my next pick. Good choice.
I think
Thanos.
And he worked out a ton for Deadpool too.
Yep.
So I just feel like in real life, he's got to have some of that muscle memory.
And we didn't see him die in the movie. So he's got to be alive.
Can I give, they want spoilers on this?
Sure. Like this is all about.
He's coming back.
I don't doubt it. Like
He's coming back.
if you don't see them die,
right.
they're not dead.
And it's wild. Like if you don't think about it, you're like, wait a minute, what happened to him? Oh, there's a big explosion, all this kind of stuff. They're letting your mind assume things. He's coming. They have a cloning process in the book where they actually create, I don't think they call it mimics. I forget what they call it. It's a clone that they put your memories in and they can reproduce people.
Oh, dope.
So there are other characters, I will not tell you who they are, that actually come back that are not themselves, but they're a clone of that person.
But it's their mind.
It's everything.
But then they look the same?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
It's
good. So that actor
so-
and actress can still, because that's the problem if you clone into a different body, like, oh, now somebody has to pretend to be me.
Right, yeah.
I don't like, there's so many good actors and actresses in this movie. I was like, I want them
It's
around.
stacked.
Yeah. Well, then I'm going Oscar Isaac.
Okay.
Same
Yeah.
thing. Like
His
he's in so
beard
many
alone.
action stuff. Like he's so quick.
Yeah.
And you know, guys that are that quick witted, they got to be decent to fight because they're quick to think.
Yeah. His brain is quick.
Yeah.
He's filming Moon Knight. He's already done it.
I saw that.
Oh my
Looks
gosh.
good.
It's going to be incredible.
Looks good.
I'm going to go with Stellan Skarsgård.
Okay.
No.
What is Stellan in?
Remember, so we actually just talked about this. What did we say? We talked about, he's the bad guy in it's not Andor, it's in Obi-Wan. He's going to be the bad guy, and he's the bad guy. He's the professor that was in the first Thor movies and Avengers up on the rooftop.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Got it. I'm with you now.
Yeah. I just feel like he is going to be a wild card at some point. He's going to do something. You're like, I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Why are you so smart? You spent 8 hours in that makeup chair.
Come on.
All right. Who are you going for?
Who played the dude that Paul killed?
Oh, I don't know.
Him.
I can't. Okay.
No Country for Old Man guy. Harvey Aberdeen.
Dadgummit.
Yes. Oh, that was
All
close.
right. Okay.
It's close.
That was really close. I was like, wow, he's going to swing and miss on this one. I have a shot. I saw it open
Got
window.
it. Grounded a second.
All right.
Beat it out.
I'm going with Zendaya, and it's mostly a misdirect.
gonna
People
go
are going to be like, oh my gosh, there's Zendaya.
I love
and then
Zendaya.
everybody over
Are
here.
you and Tom dating? They're not talking about it.
No, they're not. Well, they're promoting their movie. That's
You
what
think they're really
doing.
dating?
I don't know.
I think they're really
can't
dating.
speculate.
They
You
both
do?
seem like cool dudes.
They see.
Cats,
I think
girls,
they like
guys.
each other. Yeah. Cats. Yeah, cats.
Yeah, great movie by the way.
Not.
You know, I saw a thing
not good.
in Red Notice. Ryan Reynolds said something. He made a joke saying Vin Diesel's audition for Cats. It exists.
Oh,
Does that exist for real?
I don't know.
It has to. They wouldn't put in a movie and then followed up with it exists if it didn't exist.
That's funny.
I love that because you know what's funnier is that The Rock and Vin Diesel don't get along.
Yeah.
I love Ryan Reynolds, or as some call him,
Ryan Reynolds. Are we want to Will It Rock?
Sure.
The question on everyone's mind, will it rock? The answer is probably yes.
What do you think?
Like, which role would he play?
Yeah.
I mean, him and Dave Bautista pretty much just take turns on movies.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even say his name in here. You're right.
Neither of us picked Dave Bautista for
What's
3v3.
wrong with us? We're idiots.
He's the best fighter in the whole.
Who should The Rock replace? One of us for not picking him.
Come on, Dwayne. You're
Come
in.
on, Dave. I'm sorry.
Who's Dave? Bautista.
Yeah, come on, Dave.
Like Dave from Wendy's?
Where's the beef?
That's the first Dave I think of.
Man,
Contractual.
Why did we both?
But Dave Bautista standing there on the sidelines, we're picking teams. You go, Zendaya. He's like, what the crap, bro? And he's like, all right, cool. And he does what he did whenever they didn't like call him for What If. He's like, didn't get a call.
Okay. I didn't get
He
it.
goes home.
When is a Zendaya? I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why can't we put her in Marvel?
Oh.
Oh, wait, she is.
Oh, yeah,
She's
you're right.
Mary
Yeah,
Jane.
yeah, which is funny. Okay. Will it rock?
I mean, would he do good at Dave Bautista's role?
No, he'd overact it.
Not The Rock.
The Rock would.
No.
My wife said this to
My
me.
wife.
She said when she was watching Red Notice, she goes, why is he so corny in everything he does? Like, because he's not an actor necessarily.
How dare you?
He's I knew you were gonna say
Don't
that.
you ever.
Don't you? I'm so sorry.
Deface the amazing name of our earthly companion.
Sacrilege. I think he could do it. It just wouldn't be the same. He could play the Harkonnen guy that floats around in the giant whatever, because after his cheat day, he's gonna need somebody to help get
Well, the greenhouse gases he emits.
Yes,
It's dangerous.
We got
That's
a
what gets the
streak
spice.
going here. This is
That's
good.
what gets the spice.
I don't know. Here's what I would say: don't mess up Dune, please.
He messed up Doom. Don't do it to Dune. That's when he had hair. I think he had hair in Doom.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Like 10 minutes of it.
Okay.
It's 10 more than I should have.
I just looked at Neil and made a fart noise for no reason. I'm sorry.
All right.
I hate
I don't
myself.
think you'll rock.
Did we get this in
I don't
25
think it'll
minutes?
rock. We did not. These continue to get longer.
We're trying to get them shorter and shorter. Like, all right, we're
It's
going to
not
cut it
gonna
down this time.
Well, if I didn't have 50 pages of research in this is not your dissertation, Neil. Back off, man.
Working on your
There's
dissertation.
only one of us that knows.
My guy
what
working
a
on his dissertation.
is.
What chapter are you on?
No.
I'll give you a hint of which the worst one to do is. Chapter 2.
Oh boy.
Chapter 2 is
We should
the
do an
worst.
entire explaining
On writing a dissertation. Can we do it after I finish?
Yeah.
That way I'm not like, who's what I'm going to
No,
do?
spend all your time working on this to talk about what you really should be doing.
There he is.
There it is.
There it is.
Uh,
Got to start paying back them loans because
cash
my
money.
classes are over. But I got to finish that paper.
Yep. Cash money.
Get that paper. Get that bag. All right, man. Do you want me to end this?
I mean, I think that's the only thing.
Like
we
a
can
needle to the back. Here we go.
do. Wow.
Did you think of Ace Ventura whenever Pet Detective Ace Ventura 2 when he shot him in the back? Ping. I can't reach it.
Oh, God.
There we go. Thank you guys for listening. We do appreciate you being a
Yeah,
part of the
thanks for
Patreon.
being on
I mean
Patreon.
it like we joke a lot, but we're serious. Appreciate you a lot. Thanks for getting the ball rolling and
Thank you.
letting us be millionaires.
Thanks.
So thank y'all so much. We're almost 20 years.
At least.
At least.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much. And hey, real quick, thanks for coming on TED Talk.
I almost pushed the button. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Explain Everything podcast. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Explain Everything Podcast. We're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but you're already here. We love you. No, actually, we're in love with you. Thanks for coming on our TED Talk. Bye.